Jeffrey Perrine. I'm a longtime Sacramento native. I've lived a long time. I've lived here my entire life, all 38 years. In terms of the 7th Assembly District, they've redistricted, so they've changed the area that we originally had. Well, when I ran for office 2 years ago, it was slightly different, so I can give you guys the updated district as of today. So I know it's ever changing, right? So we have Folsom, Rancho Cordova, Mather, Rosemont, Carmichael, Fair Oaks, Orangevale, both Citrus Heights zip codes, Foothill Farms, North Highlands, and McClellan Park. So they removed Rio Linda, and they gave us Citrus Heights and Fair Oaks. I'm an America First guy. I am a proud Western chauvinist. I believe that Western values are the best. I'm just going to say it. I think that the Christian ethos is what we need, right? I heard someone say family, faith, and freedom. That runs right in line with what I believe. The nuclear family is what I want to protect. I think that Marxism is completely destroying our culture. It's destroying our economy. It's destroying the education system. And I've found that ultimately the root of all of our problems is Marxism and communism. It has really nothing to do with liberals or Democrats or progressives at this point. Everything that's being pushed about race issues and all the class issues is Marxism and communism. And it is used to pit us against each other so that we won't unite to come together to build this great economy and this great country that we once had, right? Yep. So they keep using things that we all have problems and things that bother us in our day-to-day life. But what they do is they make these things seem way worse than they truly are. And then we can't agree on anything. And while we're fighting, they continue to push things through legislation while we're not watching. COVID's a prime example. We were all worried about COVID for 2 years, whether it was you were afraid to kill your grandma for a mask or a vaccine or whatever. Well, that was going on. They were bankrupting all small businesses. Okay? Yep. They were continuing to fund major corporations. So you saw Lowe's and Home Depot and Target and Walmart. They all became incredibly wealthy, right?
Corporate America.
Amazon continued to make money. Well, everyone in my community that owned a small business, I slowly but surely watched all of them disappear. I can't go to the local taqueria anymore because it's gone. You know, you can't go to the mom and pop laundry shop that used to be there because it's been replaced by the major corporation that could afford to come in and buy all of their assets at a cheap price because they had to go bankrupt because they were forced to pay employees to work while they weren't even allowed to go to work, right? So there's things that, as a legislator and assembly person, I will no longer be signing on with the hemorrhaging of money, okay? I will be the person that stands up to this endless expenditure that we have going on in our state of California. They seem to think that when you continuously spend, there will be no inflation. There will be no cost. I mean, I heard Joe the other day say, I'm spending trillions of dollars, but I promise that's not going to increase the national debt. I mean, these people are telling you something and they're hoping you're too dumb to actually look it up yourself or understand how an economy works. Yep. When I grew up, we held people accountable. What I want to do is I want to bring accountability back. I want to make accountability something that we all are used to and seeing. Because nowadays people commit crimes in office and they just go on with their day like nothing happened. I mean, we have certain politicians that have continued to violate our Constitution. They've been told by Supreme Court justices in the state, Gavin, you've done way more things than you're allowed to as the governor. You have to stop. And he doesn't. He just keeps going. Yep. Well, that's what happens when you don't have a House. You don't have a Senate to stand up for you. So what I've realized is I can no longer sit at home and complain from the couch. I can no longer complain at a local bar or a baseball park. I had to stand up, meet constituents that I heard were saying the same thing. We all have the same problems. We complain about the same things. A majority of us have kids. I want my kids to have the exact same chances that I had as a kid, which was growing up, not being told because of my skin color that I'm better or I'm worse than other people around me. Because when I grew up, I really did believe in what we were told, which was color blindness, right? I grew up, my friends were of all different varieties of race, color, creed, religion. There was never an issue. But when I finished high school and then I went to college and I started to experience the universities and what was really going on inside these universities. Well, I got 2 bachelor's degrees from Sac State, okay, business and communication studies, and I went to junior college at Sierra College. I was able to escape the indoctrination because of a lot of what I did was took communication, which was how to talk. They hadn't quite gotten into this pronoun thing where everything that you say either makes you, microaggressions or you're a bigot or whatever. And honestly, I just reached a point where I had enough. I am no longer going to allow people to go to office who tell me that they represent me and don't. I'm tired of people abstaining. I'm tired of people not showing up to a vote, okay? If you don't go, you might as well just agree with the Democrats when they have a supermajority, right? Yep. I put you into office to do what I want you to do as a constituent, not to blow smoke up my rear, right? And what I've heard and I've seen from a lot of the local politicians as well as the state level politicians is they tell you what you want to hear while they're running. And then as soon as they get into office, the major corporations who are funding these people, giving them the $5,000 to $2,500 election donation things that you can make in mass numbers from all of their different people that they have, right? So they don't violate any election codes or anything because they have all their friends donate to these people. Well, major corporations are benefiting from this. When you have assembly members that are willing to make your children wear masks and fund your school district if you're willing to make kid wear masks or make the kids take vaccines, a lot of people didn't realize that this Build Back Better money that we had that made our economy so strong today, where we now have a surplus, came from people forcing our kids and the community to do things that were following the federal guidelines. Well, and something that I would do as a legislator, I would stand up and say no. That's all I can do. I am one person. I am a loud voice. But I'm not afraid, like Dr. Wong said. I am not afraid. I've already been slandered. I've already been destroyed. I was forced to start a small business because I can't work in corporations because I'm what they call a white privileged Christian male who's cisgender and apparently ableist now. So, what I've done is I figured I might as well embrace it. I'm going to use it to my advantage. I think a lot of people can agree with the things that I say. I'm running on anti-political correctness, anti-establishment, no racial guilt. I have no racial guilt for being who I am. I can't choose who I was born as, okay? All I can choose is what I say and do on the daily, which is to treat people like I want to be treated, which is like a fair human being, right? And so, yeah, that's who I am. I'm Jeffrey Perrine. I'm a lifetime Sacramento resident. Yeah, you can Google me and probably see a lot of horrible things that the media says, but I'm going to tell you, if you're being attacked by the media and you're being attacked by people, I've learned it's generally because I'm over the target, okay? And I see a lot of you people in here support Trump. Who was attacking Trump for the entire time he was in office? 4 years, the media, right? Well, that's me. That's right. It's these Republican in name only, the people that think that we should still be going to war, right? Can we actually have someone stand up and say, hey, can we stop killing innocents? Can we stop funding wars? Well, that's going to be something that I do. I will no longer allow California to participate in printing endless amounts of money to fund wars in other countries while I can drive around my community and I see homeless veterans, I see homeless people just in general, whether it's drug addiction, their business failed and they couldn't support themselves any longer, couldn't pay a mortgage. I mean, what about the people that paid their mortgage during the 2 years? Where they were giving people money to not pay a mortgage, so that at the end of the time, you're writing them a giant check. Well, I know a lot of people that paid their bills the whole time. They stayed working the whole time. Well, as a legislator, I would write a bill to reward those people. I would reward people that continued to employ people, that kept their doors open. They followed the rules. They suffered. They lost their money. I would do something for the small businesses and the entrepreneur because I'm all about promoting small business and entrepreneurship in California. So if that's something that interests you, that's me, Jeffrey Perrine, District 7, Sacramento, California, and thank you all very much. Perrine, it's Perrine, I know it's a difficult one, for assembly.org. But yeah, I will hand out a card if you guys would like. I have stickers with my address on it or whatever. Get in contact with me. I'll answer any questions. I'm an open book, and I'm not afraid. I'll answer any questions you have.
You got great eyes.
Yes.
Right on, Jeff.